that old commercial? Talking about, bunch of spicy meatballs.
That's a spicy.
Very good, honey.
Thank you, baby. Love you. Ooh. Hey, y'all, guess what? Today is the classic Italian comfort food. Guess what it is? You're right, spaghetti and meatballs. Look here, I'm gonna do it in 3 easy steps. First, we're gonna make the meatballs. Then we're gonna make our sauce. Last, we're gonna make that pasta, and then we're gonna bring it all together. Hey, look, it's gonna be a lot of ingredients, but it's simple. Remember, it always seems impossible until it's done. Now, it's gonna look like it's difficult, but it's gonna be super easy. Come on, let me show you how I do it. Hey, let's get these meatballs on the road. Here's how we're gonna do it. First things first, preheat the oven. I've got my oven preheating to 450 degrees. We're making these meatballs in the oven. Why? I was gonna make a whole bunch of them. It's gonna make about 60 meatballs. We're making spaghetti and meatballs, not spaghetti and meatball. So, let's get it going. First thing, I got some fresh white bread. I'm gonna get rid of the crust that's on the side. So I just got a little knife, just gonna cut the crust off the bread and get rid of it. We don't need it, we just need the bread. Don't need the crust for this one. Okay? And then, what we're gonna do, so we got our crust, not gonna use that. I'm gonna take my bread, I'm just gonna slice it in little pieces so that I can cut it up. And we're gonna use it to make our meatballs nice and tender. Got my breadcrumbs. Tossing them in here. Now I'm gonna take my buttermilk and just add it to it, give it a stir. If you don't have buttermilk, here's what you do. Make your own. If you got some milk and I need 1 cup of buttermilk. So what I did, I added 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and I let it sit about 10 minutes. You see how thick that is? That's what happens. It just curdles up, and it's gonna give it a nice little tangy flavor, and in essence, instant buttermilk. All right, so we're gonna let this sit in here and get happy about 10 minutes, and let these breadcrumbs absorb all this tangy goodness. And this is gonna be what's gonna make what's gonna make our meatball so nice and tender and moist. All right, y'all, so we have the fresh breadcrumbs in. Now, gonna add the seasoned breadcrumbs to our mix. And what we're doing, look, we're making what's called a panade. So what's a panade? It's nothing but a mixture of bread and a little bit of liquid. In this case, we're using buttermilk, our homemade version of buttermilk. And we're gonna mix it together, and it's gonna be what's gonna help bind our meatballs together, keep them nice and tender and moist. This is one of the secret weapons to making damn delicious spaghetti and meatballs. Get this all mixed in. We're gonna let it sit about 10 minutes so all the moisture gets absorbed into the breadcrumbs that we've got in here. We may need to come back and just pat it down a little bit. But that's it. Now we have our panade. That's what you want it to look like. So the panade is made, it's sitting over there on the side doing this thing. Everything's coming together. Now, remember, we got our cornstarch. I got this little bit of water, gonna just mix it in, make a little cornstarch slurry. Cornstarch slurry is made. Let's get to the really nitty gritty of the meatballs, the meat. So, I've got my ground beef right here. Get that little fella into the pool. I've got my hot Italian sausage right here. Get that little fella into the pool. Remember that panade we made and we set it aside? All right, let's get it in. All this is starting to dry up, but that's all right. It's all gonna come together. Looks like a big pasty mess, but this is what we're looking for. All right, there you go. Panade ready. Parmigiano Reggiano into the pool, parsley, garlic, A little bit of salt, our pepper, our cornstarch slurry. Get it all out of there. I got my egg. Last step in the process, a little bit of warm water, or hot, but not cold. And the reason this is important is we're gonna mix this all together with our hands with all that cold meat. Cold water won't be good, so we need some warm water to make this work. All right, so get it all in there. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Gonna get your hands, but you can either get in there with your hands and mix this all together, or get you some black nitrile gloves, put them bad boys on, and then get in there and mix it all together. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my gloves. Make cleanup a little bit easier. Works either way, clean hands, nitrile gloves, your choice. So ready? Now, this is where your hands come in. Jump in and just mix it all together. I think it's almost ready, y'all. So you want this well incorporated. So just really get in there with your hands and work it and squish it together. You want to get that panade we made. That's going to be our secret weapon to help keeping this stuff nice and moist all the way through. All right, our meatball mixture is ready. Now, before we get our meatballs in the oven, we're going to prep our pan. So I've got a cookie sheet. I've lined it with aluminum foil. I've got a rack. This is what I use to cool my cookies on, but I'm gonna also use it as a cooking rack. So I'm gonna spray this. So I put my meatballs on it. I'm gonna spray a second one because we're gonna make about 60 meatballs, y'all. So this will help make sure those meatballs don't stick to the rack. Okay, so we got our racks all ready to roll. One last thing we're gonna do. I'm coming back in with my nitrile gloves again because I'm gonna shape these meatballs into little round balls. See how I do it. I got some help. I've got my little cookie scooper. I got 3 scoopers, a small, a medium, and a large. I don't know the numbers. If someone knows, write it in the comments. Give me a hint, let me know. But I'm using the one that's in the middle. Makes about a 2-inch meatball. In fact, let's give it some love. So here we go. Just gonna scoop these little fellas out, form them to a ball, and we got meatballs, y'all. If you're trying to form your meatballs, keep your hands nice and wet or your gloves nice and wet. It'll just let you, when you're rolling, it'll just help you form that meatball a little bit easier when you go to do this. It'll just act like it wants to turn into a ball instead of clog up on your hand, okay? All right, y'all, we got our meatballs all done. Now, we're just gonna put these little fellows in the oven. About 30 minutes in the oven. We're gonna rotate them midway through and just flip them back and forth so they can kind of cook evenly. Now, while they're in the oven, we're gonna make our sauce. The meatballs are in the oven. Those little fellas been hanging out about 15 minutes. Now remember I said we're gonna cook them for a total of 30 minutes. So in about 15 minutes, what we wanna do is rotate them so they cook even. So we're gonna come on in right now and just switch them around in the oven so that they cook nice and even. So come on back here, check this out. Oh, they're looking good. But they are still needing some love. All right, y'all, so we just switched them around. So we got another 15 minutes and then we'll pull them out and they should be golden. We're looking for them to be nice and dark, crispy looking brown. That's what we're looking for. Meanwhile, we're gonna get our sauce going. Now look here, here's the ingredients we're gonna use to make this sauce. Super simple. Got a little olive oil, some onions, fresh garlic, red wine, some tomato, these are crushed tomatoes. So crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, sugar, some Worcestershire sauce, some fresh parsley, oregano, red pepper flake, salt and pepper. That's what we got. So I'm gonna get my olive oil into the pan. All right, I got this pan preheating on kind of low. See how it's kind of breaking up inside? That's what you wanna see. And turn that fire up just a little bit on it. And I'm gonna get my onions into the pan. We're gonna saute these guys. And that's what we want, a little sizzle. Okay, so I'll get the onions in, give them a stir. We're gonna just let these guys sit there and sweat down about 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes until they get nice and happy. Ooh, hey, meatballs, it's been another 15 minutes, 30 minutes total for the meatballs. Had them in at 450. Now, we're gonna get them out of the oven, see what they look like. Come on back, let's check it out. Should have been plenty of time for these little fellas to do their thing. Oh, they look good. Look at that. That's what you want. Good looking meatball. Nice and brown, should be delicious and tender. We flipped them midway through. What we're looking for, y'all, we want that nice brown. It's called a Maillard reaction. See how it's brown all the way around? We flipped them and rotated them, and that helped them brown on the top and on the bottom. So that's a good look. Let those guys sit there and get happy. So these onions are starting to, they're looking good. I want them nice and translucent, and that's getting where I want them. That's about where I want it to be. Now, I got my garlic. We had about 6 cloves, but I'm throwing them into the pool. I'm gonna stir this around and just let that garlic get nice and fragrant. I don't want it to brown because it'll start to get bitter. So I'm gonna drop my heat a little bit and just stir this around. Give it about a minute. And after, ooh, that smells amazing. And after this gets happy, I'm gonna drop our wine in next. Okay? Let's give that a minute to just kind of cook that garlic flavor, let it mellow. So I'm gonna drop my wine in. Here we go. Y'all look here, I'm gonna turn my heat up. I'm turning the heat up to high. And I want this wine to reduce and just about completely evaporate. Okay, gonna get all the little brown bits off the bottom. So take your spoon, scrape the pan, get any of the little brown bits that are stuck to the bottom, get them up. And just deglazing the pan with the wine. Just about all that wine reduced down. See, look in there. You can barely see it's still kind of wet. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add our crushed tomatoes. Let's get these guys in. All right. Oops. All right, so we got our crushed tomatoes in. Gonna get our tomato paste in. I've got my sugar. Just gonna balance out the sweetness and the heat. Got a little Worcestershire sauce. Add a little depth of flavor. Got my parsley. Give it some freshness. Got a little herbaceousness with my dried oregano. A little more heat for the sauce with some crushed pepper flakes. A little bit of salt to help everything come together. And a little bit of black pepper. All right, so we got them all in. Now we're gonna stir. I've reduced my fire to kind of a medium low. Just gonna stir this all together. I'm gonna let it simmer. This sauce is just now starting to simmer. So I've got the sauce, everything's in. I've reduced my fire to low. I'm gonna let it go about 30 minutes, but before I do, we're gonna add the meatballs back in. Now, here's the dangerous thing about making spaghetti and meatballs. While you're waiting on stuff to cook, you're tempted to always taste the meatballs. So I started with about 60. I'm down to a little bit more than 50. All right, so let's get them into the pool, because these little suckers have been serving as snacks. All the meatballs are in. Just gonna give them a stir and let them all just sit in here and do their thing. About 30 minutes, simmering it on low. Let all that sauce soak in. All right, so we're gonna get our fire on. Want to bring this water to a boil. Let it get happy, do its thing. Let's want this water real salty. 2, 3, 4. This is gonna be the only chance we get to season our pasta. I got the waters come to a boil. I've got about 4 tablespoons of table salt in there. I'm adding in my spaghetti. I'm gonna let it cook al dente. It's about 11 minutes. Pick your favorite pasta. I would just use box pasta. Pick your favorite box pasta and follow the directions for al dente, but in general, it's probably about 10, 11 minutes. Hey y'all, look here. The spaghetti's just about ready to come off, and everything is about to come together. But before we do, I'm gonna get my garnishes ready. So I've already taken a block of pecorino romano and a block of parmigiano reggiano, and I've grated it nice and smooth. Now, I've gone out to the garden. I've got a little bit of fresh basil. I'm gonna just cut it, a little chiffonade cut, so I've rolled it all up. Just giving it a gentle cut. And we're gonna use this to garnish our spaghetti and meatballs. So hang on and get ready. Here we go. All right, y'all, pasta's ready. Just gonna get it out of here. Nice al dente. Right into it. I'm not draining it. I'm just taking it right into the pasta. I know, I'm not draining it. I don't care. I want that nice salty water to be right in there with everything. This is the look I'm going for. This is the flavor profile we're looking for. If you get a little extra water in it, it's all right, because this water is liquid gold. It's got nice starches in it from that boiled pasta and plenty of salt. So we're gonna give it a stir and a taste. If to adjust the seasonings, we will. I think we're in good shape right here. Hey, look here. Spaghetti and meatballs are ready. Man, it's got the right look, it's got the right consistency. I've gotten a sneak peek of the meatballs, because while we were making that sauce, I was tasting those meatballs, and so were some other folks who were lingering around behind the camera. But right now, let's do this. We're gonna plate up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here, get some of this. Just see what we can do with it. Yeah, uh-oh, come on. Come on, right here, right now. All right, let's get a nice little taste. So I got my noodles, a few noodles. Let's get some of that meatball on there too. That is what I would call delicious. Worth waiting for, y'all. This might be the best spaghetti on the planet. Look, that sauce we made was homemade. We added our own depth of flavor with all those different things, the Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of red pepper flake, a little bit of sugar to balance it out. So lots of stuff going into it, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, and all that brings depth of flavor, which ends up being an awesome spaghetti sauce. And remember how we made our meatballs? We did them in the oven, and then we pulled them out. We put them in the sauce and let that get happy together to marinate. And now we got the ultimate with the noodles mixed in with it. But look, that's my opinion. Here's what normally happens about this time. My baby is off in the wings. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Look here, today, spaghetti and meatballs.
Wow, that's a lot of spaghetti.
Yeah, it is a lot of spaghetti. But hey, look here, you know, you gotta call some friends and share it.
Okay.
But I have a bowl that I put together for you.
Oh boy, it's gonna be messy.
Oh, be careful, girl.
Okay.
But you jump in and give that a shot. Let me know what you think. I hate to see a girl eat alone.
Smells wonderful.
Give it a shot, see what you think.
These noodles are.
Yeah, I know, you can't get us, it's hard to, you almost gotta cut them with your fork so you don't get 5 mouthfuls.
Woo, okay.
That is a big bite. While she's chewing, trying to figure out what to say. You got a thumbs up, can't get it out.
It's just like a mouthful of flavor.
Yeah.
And the meatball, it's not spicy, but it's got a kick to it.
Got a kick in the back. And what do you think about the texture, the tenderness of the meatball?
The meat, oh, wonderful. And the noodles, they're like perfect.
Yeah, we did the noodles al dente. We cooked them about 10, 11 minutes. And the reason we did it is because they're gonna cook more in the sauce. And they're gonna keep cooking. So they're gonna absorb the flavor of the sauce that way as well.
What's that old commercial? Talking about, bunch of spicy meatballs.
That's a spicy meatball. Oh, okay. Hey, y'all, look here. So spaghetti and meatballs done right. You can do it right too. You can do it right in your own home. So give it a try. Recipe is down below. If you got questions, drop us a note, okay? Drop us a note, and if you make it, be sure to take a picture and post it. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, we'll holler at you next time.
Very good, honey.
Thank you, baby. Love you.
Ooh, really
See
good.
y'all.